What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Okay, so I had a live stream in the morning with the great Jason Samosa. I hope you guys get a chance to see it. Right before I ended the live stream, the interview with Matthew Brown on Weaponized dropped. And I already kind of had an idea of what was going to be discussed, but I had no idea the depths that they would take. And essentially, the main claims from Matt are three, but he talked about many things. One is that Tulsi Gabbard's ODNI protection meetings, he considered them to be a secret intel ops to lure, smear, and destroy whistleblowers, with some really outlandish accusations against him. I'm not gonna mince words or anything, but this is essentially what they told him and what they made him. And Jeremy Corbell corroborated this, that he was accused of something horrible that is not the case. And the fact that he now has to come out and talk about this takes the conversation to a whole new level that a lot of people did not want to acknowledge. And one of the reasons why I had Jason Samosa on the show and also Josh from Polarity on the show is that they can see the whole gamma of things that are occurring, and they can see that there is potentially everything that's happening with the war. There is an involvement by the Zionist regime, and voicing those concerns can get you ostracized pretty quickly. So this is what Matthew Brown said that they accused him of during a meeting with ODNI people. He didn't meet with Tulsi, though. That is not the case, but he did meet with other people, and this is what happened.
I think just briefly here can state that they took my concerns about what happened that day and spun it as me having an anti-Jew agenda.
An anti-what?
Jew.
Okay, like you hate the Jewish people.
He expressed concerns about October 7th, just so you know.
Hate Jewish people, that I'm an anti-Semite.
Okay.
And that I, have hatred in my heart because of October 7th about Israel and the Jewish people.
When I told him that he was at a Jewish wedding, motherfucker, we had just gone to one. Yeah.
No, I was literally at one of my very dear friends' weddings, and it was a Jewish wedding. So
Mazel tov. They were trying to paint him. I'm gonna really infuriate him, and I see him twitching, and I want to be careful because it's really painful. But I'm gonna tell him the three things I was told about him that are untrue, the lies. But continue. I don't want to interrupt. And George has a pressing question.
Yeah, and I think the key thing is, I didn't say what I was upset about. I told them because of who I am and what I had access to, I saw October 7th in a way the vast majority of people didn't. And it greatly affected me. And I didn't say in which way, right? I didn't say it had swayed my beliefs to support the Israeli cause or swayed my belief to support the Palestinian cause. The truth of it is, it hardened my heart against the Palestinians. It made me hate them. Seeing what they did to women, especially, and babies and children, hardened my heart to them, and I'm ashamed to admit it. But I did not tell ODNI that. So if anything, based on the reality of my reaction to that day, I would be very pro-Semitic, very pro-Israel in my actions.
And they tried to spin it. Because I'm not a political... George can maybe translate for me. I'm stunted politically. But let me just tell you, the brush with which you were painted directly after you were in the skiff, it takes about 3 weeks for them to flip their idea on me. ODNI contacted me, and they told me, and just take this on the chin. This is what they said. I want your response. They told me three things. They said, Matthew Brown is a racist Jew hater. They said, one individual from ODNI told me that in the skiff, Matthew Brown is a racist Jew hater. I believe those were the exact words. I need to look at, back in my brain to figure it out. The other thing that was told to me was that Matthew Brown admitted to completely making up and fabricating that he saw an Immaculate Constellation document in the files.
Right.
And that he admitted to me that Matthew Brown made that up. He came up with the name, that he made it up.
Mm-hmm.
And the third big lie that was told to me, if I recall, was that I think the third point of the brush that they painted with was that the words counter espionage and treason, I believe it was treason or a word like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what was said to me by an official in ODNI who told me, gossiping, spilling the tea about what you said in a private skiff meeting where you were supposed to go in to be protected as a whistleblower. Will you address those three things right now?
Yeah. So obviously I am not an anti-Semite. I'm not a Jew hater. I grew up in elementary school with a large Jewish cohort in it. I don't remember it anymore, but we had to learn Hebrew at the time. Celebrated Hanukkah.
It's a damn shame that Matthew even has to do this publicly, because we know that they use this as a weapon to ostracize people. Whatever they say against the war and against potential foreign influence in the United States, specifically from Israel, because that is happening as well. There's always this mechanism that is used against people. And it's just like, it's a damn shame that Matthew has to clarify such a dumb thing to clarify, because why can't you be against the war and still have a bunch of Jewish friends and believe in Jewish people and hang out with them and all that? I know a lot of Jewish people that don't agree with the war either, or the Zionist regime. So you guys can see what's happening here. And yeah, they identified somebody specifically from ODNI who's been doing this. So they spoke about something that they weren't supposed to talk about because it happened in this skiff as gossip. That's what Jeremy Corbell is saying.
Since then, this is just so ridiculous.
So the guy lied to me.
Absolutely. And I mean, yes, the day that I heard the news, you can't beat fate. Or yeah, I'm at my dear friend's wedding, and it's a Jewish wedding.
The day I told you.
Yes, the day you told me, I'm there celebrating, and it's Jewish families.
I was never told that I can't tell you what you supposedly said in a skiff to ODNI, so I feel fine that I was never told I can't tell him that.
And then the last thing that just makes it really ridiculous is my family has Jewish blood in it. We've confirmed it through DNA testing.
So you're a self-hating Jew.
The very definition, right? Yeah.
Bro, that quip from Knapp was brilliant. And yeah, this is what we might be dealing with now, I guess, because it got political now, and they're accusing Matt of stuff that he's not, just because of voicing his opinions. And yeah, I was attacked like that because I spoke against Schellenberger's stupid ass rhetoric, because it is. And in this conversation, he doesn't mention Schellenberger, but he does say that there are people who he used to trust and he no longer trusts. I think that that is Schellenberger, because I can absolutely confirm to you guys, based on an educated opinion, that Matthew Brown does not align with the ideas and the activity that Schellenberger has been doing recently. And this paints a line in the sand, evidently. So that's one. That's one of the things that he was accused of, and what he talks about, how he was accused of being an anti-Semite and fabricating lies. He also discussed Immaculate Constellation as a two-faced USAP AI, unacknowledged special access program that is run by AI that hoards military UFO videos, images, and hides them from most of government. That's what he claimed. And then the other part that I want to just play for you guys is this one, because this delves into what has happened to whistleblowers, especially recently, and the type of operations that are being run against them. So let me show you. This is the third thing that he spoke to ODNI about on that skiff, and he's going to be very descriptive. I'm going to be pausing it a little bit just to enter a little bit of commentary there. But I think that this is the meat of the interview, in my opinion.
The third thing that we talked about that I brought there of my concerns was whistleblowers and their treatment since coming forward in public, specifically how there have been coordinated online attacks against myself, Dylan Borland, David Grush, Lou Elizondo, Jeff Mixatelli. I think Alex escaped, but you know, the point is it's systematic and it's ongoing to this day. We have identified the main players and found that they are active duty service members or reserve service members with active clear.
Now, something that I think doesn't make a lot of sense to me is that, and this just keeps happening, man, because talking about Lou Elizondo like that, when he's like made mistakes and there's a lot of like dark clouds surrounding him. Gerb has spoken about this at length in that Ramsey interview on Area 52. I think that that shouldn't be ignored, and they will eventually have to address it, because yeah, you can be a whistleblower and all that, but everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes wrong decisions. I think that that's the case potentially with Lou. And I think that he needs to address those wrong decisions that he made, because if they're not addressed, there's a lot of like really dirty laundry that is going to be eventually come out, whether he likes it or not, you know? And I know that people like Gerb and also even Corbell himself, they want to focus on just Lou coming out and talking about his real involvement in the legacy program and all that. But I think that there are a lot of things that are happening outside of that that also have to be addressed. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know what you guys think about that, but yeah.
Appearances, doing this on their work time from work computers.
That's right.
And that this network of shit talkers is directly traced back to legacy program security, and that legacy program security is actively running disinformation operations and psychological operations against UAP whistleblowers, their friends, and their family. Worse than that, they are taking human intelligence methods and applying them to us in order to disrupt our lives and basically to drive us to either commit suicide or become so ostracized from our friends and family that we are no longer a threat. Specifically, they are sending Office of Special Investigations agents to people's families to break apart their families, to break apart marriages, to this.
Is it just me, or Matt seems really pissed off while saying this?
Day to pull children away from their parents. And these are not the parents, these are not parents who are whistleblowers. They are people who have helped us. It's completely unacceptable. I took some of that evidence there and brought it up. And in fact, I took more than just screenshots and posts and information about low-level players. We found one of the key players in the legacy security architecture lately or currently at Northrup Grumman. And his name is...
Name redacted.
Show us a photo of that.
I have it right here.
I know you do. Before we look at this photo, not only that, you could prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt in the court of law. And if anything were to happen to you or anybody, then it'll all be put out anyway.
That's the dead man switch that Jeff Ducatelli spoke about at Seoul. If you guys don't remember, that's what Jeremy means.
Yes. And it's not just me.
Yes.
You know, in my last interview, I said that it's been a long, hard road to find allies. I have them now, and I do. And we are done taking punches and not punching back.
Name redacted.
Is responsible.
Okay, so has been responsible for a lot of what you're talking about current day.
Current day as it relates to the UAP problem, he is a nexus point for legacy security. He's part of the dirty tricks department. People bring names that need to be handled to this individual. This person looks at those names, matches it to the capabilities to go achieve XYZ objectives. And then the result is an ecosystem flooded with disinformation and psychological operations and targeted attacks against whistleblowers and their allies.
How do you know?
So I cannot reveal everything about this because I am communicating it for others.
And what is his current role in government, if any?
No role in government, but in the military industrial complex. He is most recently at Northrup Grumman. And the little title he has here that people might find interesting is Deputy SAPCO for DARPA.
Wait, what does SAPCO mean? And are you sure this is a photo of him?
I'm 100% sure. And, you know, we have a career history outside of this one appointment in 2009.
What does that mean?
It means that
Name redacted.
has been exposed. We have mapped him, his history, and his network, and the people that he knows. He is done. He is off the board.
Off the chessboard.
Correct.
You mean right now because we're showing his face?
Now publicly, but I brought that information to ODNI specifically to let them know that I knew who he
You
was.
showed ODNI this photo?
Yes. I sent them this photo.
How did they respond? And when you saying you sent ODNI, you sent it primarily
Name redacted.
With other documents on Signal. Yeah. That document and other documents.
How did he respond?
No response
Zero.
to anything that I gave them.
It's funny. There's no response to Dylan about wanting to check what Dylan told him in that skiff to double check that it wasn't tampered with. And there's been no response. There's been a government shutdown was a reason that was told to Dylan that he couldn't come back in to verify and what he said. But you went in during the government shutdown. So that doesn't make sense to me.
It's a bullshit excuse.
It is.
Both pre submitting the statement to Congress and after, has there been surveillance of you, your house, your wife, your home, your phones, anything like that that you picked up on?
So I said as much before. Yes, nothing I can ever prove, and that hasn't changed. I still have, inboxes that people shouldn't be aware of, receiving messages with attachments from junk emails. I still have, strange occurrences in terms of people walking by my house multiple times and just doing nothing and looking around.
Somebody broke in your house and laid your wife's IDs out, and as if they're filming them, and they took your grandfather's ashes and smashed them as a trash can.
Sorry, I was talking about since the weaponized.
No, but did we talk about that in the last episode? Did we reveal that?
I think we did. Yeah.
Okay, so
Again,
Yeah.
right. So I'm just saying, I know because I have been the recipient of photographs of both you and other people where X's were painted on your sidewalk.
Correct.
And so that seems like a crazy thing to say, except for the fact that it happened to multiple whistleblowers. That we were preparing, George and I were preparing to be able to talk in front of Congress. So it's really a fucked up game.
I did not know that the X thing had happened to
We'll
others.
talk about that later.
But yeah, it is a fucked up game. We are Americans doing what is best for our country. And
Are we?
yes, you and I and George, everyone here is doing what is best for our country, 100%. Just to get to the end of this very unfortunate man and meeting,
Name redacted.
he asked me at the end of the meeting, we're wrapping up here. Is there anything you want to say to Tulsi Gabbard? Is there anything you want to tell her? And I thought about it and I said, yes, there is. And that is that there are traitors in your midst. We have been infiltrated and subverted from the inside by treasonous people who do not serve the interests of the United States government. They do not respect the constitutional rule of law, and they do not respect human life. They only respect power and gain. I told them that. I stand by it today. Traitors are in our midst. They are in the highest echelons of our intelligence community, our military. They are working right now against the interests of this country and its citizens.
Name redacted.
Counts as one of them. So one thing I have to add is that while I can't confirm or share, the means by which we identified
Name redacted.
and verified his information, I can share that I personally went and vetted that information with people who would know his position, and also people who wouldn't know. And the people who wouldn't know confirmed that I have no idea who that is. So that's very good for me to know that they're not going to pretend that they know someone just to be of value to me. And then the people who should have known did admit that they knew who it was, confirming to me that they are still trustworthy to me. So I'm very certain
Name redacted.
is a nexus point for the Dirty Tricks Department of Legacy, most recently in Northrup Grumman, and that he is personally responsible for leading the activities against UAP whistleblowers.
That's wild. And yeah, that's the meat of the whole interview that I wanted to show you guys. Gerb did mention something very recently and right after it happened that I want to show you as well, because I think this is ties into it, because there seems to be a confusion about who Matthew Brown is talking about. And Gerb did not say that this was the guy, but I would guess that it is somebody either close to him or who works with him. Of course, it's the same guy that we tried to make famous at one point, because Gerb named him in one of his videos, Mr. Terry Phillips. And this is Gerb. Quote, one of the key players of the legacy program in the legacy security architecture lately or currently at Northrop Grumman. One of these individuals, plural, is Terry Phillips, current Vice President of Security at Northrop Grumman. Phillips formerly served as USAF SAP Security Director and AFOSI PJ, Office of Special Projects Executive Director. Phillips, several directors of security and several directors of special programs under him are integral to the legacy security apparatus. Following service, Phillips moved on to Leidos as Senior VP and CSO, now VP for Security at Northrop Grumman. I'm going to leave a link to this in the description. But yeah, as far as I know, the gentleman that Matthew Brown is talking about is not this guy, but is someone who works with this guy. And I still haven't gotten the name. If I do, I'll try and share it if it's okay to share. But something that I did want to show you guys was this. And to me, yeah, that was the meat of the interview. But to me, the most important aspect of this interview is the announcement that Matthew Brown just made. And it came from a question posed by George Knapp. So here it is.
Let me ask you this. I know then from private conversations we've had that you've been discussing sort of an initiative that you and maybe a couple of your compadres are working on. Can you talk about that now? Or
Yeah. So
This is going on next week.
based on, our experience, Dylan Borland and I have started a nonprofit to do disclosure by the people for the people. It is, using UAP whistleblowers from the national security enterprise to pursue disclosure through the justice system. We are creating an organization specifically to wage lawfare, light our system lawfare, to light our system on fire with court cases related to disclosure, to make a huge fucking problem. In addition to that, we will be looking after whistleblowers. I have experienced, outside of personal support from friends and family, absolutely no assistance on the outside. There is no organized help for UAP whistleblowers, whether that be from Congress or from private initiatives. We are quite frankly being picked off to be either exploited for financial or technical gain, or to be removed from being agents of influence for the cause of disclosure.
So are you doing this for personal gain, not because that's what everybody on the interweb is going to say? Are you doing this for personal gain? Tell me.
No.
Why?
because this is our home. And if we do not defend it, who will?
We live here.
Exactly.
Planet Earth or America?
America.
I
I'm not sure if it is our home anymore.
that's
Well, that's one hell of a thing to say, man. But yeah, there is an initiative that is now being announced by Matthew Brown and Dylan Borland. And yeah, they're going to try and light up the legal aspect of this through the legal system. And more on that is going to come later, I would guess. But this sounds like a grassroots effort, a true grassroots effort that people can stand behind. And as I told you before, the reason for me to support people like Dylan Borland or Matthew Brown or David Grush is because of the way they've been treated by government. Just because of that. The ones that are being pampered by government, those are the ones that I naturally distrust. But these guys have been ostracized, they have been ridiculed, they have been demonized, and in some cases they have been harassed and even worse. And yeah, they did mention some of these people that are part of these psychological operations against the whistleblowers and their associates. So the intention of this is going to be specifics and is going to be, if it's going to go through the legal means, I would guess that they're going to go case by case, like and person by person. And I am all for that, if I'm honest with you. So this is for me the biggest news, but it's not like the thumbnail news, you know. But for me, this is like the initiative that people can stand behind. And whenever I'm going to try and get more information about the specifics, and whenever they feel comfortable releasing more information, I will report it to you on this channel. I am going to use my channel to support people like them, people who are being ostracized and mistreated by the government and who are just trying to lead a better life. And to me, what is needed in all of this is just the support that they didn't get when they asked for it, because what they're trying to do is the right thing, essentially. So yeah, I just wanted to go through a few things about this interview that I think it was just a bomb. It's already causing a lot of effects amongst those who did the wrongdoing against Matt and against Dylan and against others. I don't know what you guys think about this. What do you think about the ODNI's role in all of this? Apparently there are a few rotten apples in there. Not everyone is, but there are. And Matt already knows who that is. And what do you think about this Northrup Grumman security guy that was redacted, that seems to work alongside Terry Phillips? What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. And what do you think about this initiative that is going to go to the legal system? Exciting, I think. Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to read you all. Before I leave, I just wanted to present you with Psicoactivo's first and only sponsor for now. One of you, a small business by the name of Anomalous Cards. Here it is. I am happy to announce to you guys that I finally have my very first sponsor, which is one of you, with a small business that I feel really excited to promote. So let me present to you Anomalous Cards. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a nerd. I used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger, especially the Japanese version. I used to have a lot of decks of Yu-Gi-Oh! So when this person approached me from the Anomalous Cards team to tell me that he had this idea in this collection, I was very excited. And just so you know, what is Anomalous Cards? So Anomalous Cards is a set of 100 cards documenting the top 100 UAP events of 2025. If you want to go to the site, it is called letsgetanomalous.com. Let me repeat, letsgetanomalous.com. We're supposedly going to have a 15% discount for Psicoactivo. As soon as I get it, because they haven't generated it yet, I will give it to you guys so you can take a look. But let me show you. This is a good example. This is Dylan Borland's description of the black triangle that he saw that he described at the September hearings. So that's one. And in the reverse, in the back of the card, you get a description. One with the picture on one side and the other one with a description. This is the video that Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp showed on June 16, 2025. And this is the description right here. As I'm told by the Anomalous Cards team, 2 of my reportings are in these cards. If you can spot them, if you buy these cards and you can spot the reporting, I'll be glad to highlight it if you guys let me know. But yeah, remember, go to www.letsgetanomalous.com for a 15% discount for Psicoactivo. I'll leave the discount in the description down below. But thank you to the Anomalous Cards team for giving me this opportunity to be my sponsor, my very first official sponsor for Psicoactivo podcast. Thank you. Before I continue, I just want to let you know that if you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to please like, share, hype, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That's all you need to do in order to help us, really, but it is what helps us the most. However, if you want to help out the channel in other ways, we have links down there you can choose from. You can become a member on YouTube or on Patreon. If you want merch and no ads, I think Patreon is the way. This is the only ad you get on Patreon. You can also choose to give us a review on Spotify because we're just accepted to the partner program and we can really use your help to keep growing. You can also go to the main channel if you're new. And I got about 850 episodes that you can go through. I would really appreciate doing any of those things. Whatever you choose to do is always appreciated. So thank you. And that's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious and inquisitive like Matthew Brown. Always. Bye.